a forensic approach, digging deep to find the root problems in your marketing strategy. Then we'll fix them fast. At Scale Marketing, we can't stop the clock, but we can change your company's future. Find out how you can make your marketing budget work harder and drive more revenue. Contact us at scalemarketing.com. That's scalemarketing.com.
What does winning Powerball sound like? Yeah! Sounds like it's time to play. We're talking big.
Friday's Mega Millions jackpot is $387 million.
This hour of instant feedback brought to you by Mike Capura of National Benefit Plans. For affordable life insurance, log on to nbphealth.com.
The Detroit Pistons play the Toronto Raptors. Pre-game tomorrow night at 6:35 on Alt 98.7.
Doug Hart, Scott Anderson, 97.1 The Ticket. Happy Thursday, everybody. We'll get to some line stuff a little bit later on. Mix in a bunch today here on 97.1 The Ticket. But Gator, ready to swing around the league?
Indeed.
It's now time for the Wide 9 Omaha 4-down around the league blitz, the thingy.
We've got a six-pack of NFL questions. I went first yesterday with the college questions. And so, Gator, you're up.
All right, Gator, here we go. Down in Dallas, Jerry World, it basically has a giant window, right, which allows sunlight to come into the stadium. He wanted to make an indoor stadium but feel outdoor. Well, it basically cost the Cowboys a touchdown last week. It wouldn't have mattered. They're getting killed anyways. But CeeDee Lamb basically said, yeah, the sun was in my eyes. I couldn't see the ball, couldn't catch it, couldn't score a touchdown. Jerry Jones defended this design by saying, hey, this should be an advantage for us. We're the home team. Do you agree with what he's saying? Is Jerry Jones right?
He's not wrong. I mean, it's the truth. They're the ones that would see it every home game if it's sunny out. I mean, they understand that. However, it doesn't mean that you're immune to sunlight. It just means that you might be used to it, and maybe you have to adjust your game plan. It came and bit them. But look, the architecture of the previous Texas stadium that they had was innovative and cutting edge at the time and did the exact same thing. It was this like T-top stadium that had bright spots on the field that were also distracting. And they're not alone. Minnesota and Indianapolis have the same issue when the sun comes through. So I don't know. It's interesting, and it cost them a game. I would have expected Jerry to go the opposite way and say, we're going to start darkening then windows.
You know, it doesn't give them any advantage. This is one of the most ridiculous things anyone's ever said. You could say we're used to it, but you can't control when your play and your player is looking into the sun. You can decide, okay, in the fourth quarter, we're going to go towards the sun so our receivers aren't looking back into it. But then your defensive backs are when they turn, when the other teams go in the other direction. Just get a curtain, man. And by the way, you're 0-4 at home. You haven't won a game at home all year. What are you talking about? It's an advantage. It's not an advantage.
Oh, Jerry.
So it's definitely not an advantage. And you're right, Doug. For this to be an actual advantage, you would need to build curtains and close them when you need to, and then open them up when it's in your advantage. The only way it's even possibly an advantage is if you pick the direction you're going in. But you have no control if you win the coin toss, because the other team could do the same thing and pick the direction they're going in. So, Jerry, it's not an advantage. Doug, you know this. When your eyes are completely dilated, you can't see. It doesn't matter, man. I don't get. You can't make yourself immune to it, like you said, Gator. It is. I mean, we all have the same eyes. It's the same sun here. It's not helping.
We all turn into vampires.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, Jerry, not an advantage.
Another football question.
All right, Aaron Jones. He just told the media. I'm Aaron Jones. Sorry, Aaron Rodgers. There is an Aaron Jones in the National Football League, though. But I am talking about Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers just told the media he would like to play again next year. Should the Jets actually try this one more time with Rodgers, or just eat the dead cat money for the next couple of years?
It's dependent upon how the season finishes for them right now. They are outside the top 5 in the draft. I would wait to see where I'm drafting if I were running the Jets, and if I were inside the top 5 and I had access to Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward, I would cut Rodgers. I don't want him to be the veteran that is bringing along my young guy. I would sign a vet, a true pro, the kind of guy that would be happy to be having a starting job, even if he was, an Andy Dalton kind of player, to come in and have my youngster learn behind, so that old guy could say, hey, while you're an up-and-comer and there's, mold on your shower shoes, you're a slob. When you're a Pro Bowler, it means you have You have colorful. You're flavorful. You've got personality. But somebody that can teach the young kid and hold his hand, then that would not be Aaron Rodgers. So if I'm drafting high, I would want that veteran that's a better leader than Aaron Rodgers.
I'd run it back. I mean, you went out, you went all in getting Devontae Adams, and you've got other things there, the pieces you want to build on. They got a good defense, another offseason. You might have a chance of making the playoffs again next year. Run it back. I understand what you're saying with the him not being the greatest mentor that's out there. But one thing I would do is I would draft a quarterback. And I don't know, you could probably get a shot at Cam Ward in the top 10. I mean, if he's the second best quarterback. So many teams that are bad right now already have the quarterback. They're just bad teams, and they need other pieces to make them better. So I don't think we're going to have a situation where there's like 3 quarterbacks in the first 4 picks. So take your chances there. And most importantly, do not let Aaron Rodgers have any input whatsoever on what you're going to do on draft day.
I understand the case for both sides, but as Gator once said, this just isn't working out. I mean, I think you got to eat the money. Maybe he is, maybe if they build a better team around him, he could be like Sam Darnold was earlier this year, or Baker Mayfield, because he is an older quarterback at this point. But realistically, he's probably Joe Flacco. And I think you eat the money. It's not going to hurt too much next year. 2026 is when it's like a $35 million dead cap, but hopefully you've got a rookie quarterback on a cheaper deal at that point. But if it's my decision, I'll eat the money and move on. I don't think they can win anything with Rodgers as their quarterback. Football! Okay, Deebo Samuel had a confrontation with his kicker Jake Moody and long snapper Tabor Pepper. It was all caught on camera. Do you have a problem with what Samuel did on camera in front of everybody?
Yeah, you don't do it that demonstratively on the sideline during the game. You've got a beef with the kicker, by the way. That should be handled in the locker room. It should not be handled in front of cameras and microphones, especially during the game. All right, what are you as a wide receiver going to tell the kicker that's going to change anything he does? All right, you don't think he knows he's had a bad day? That he's missed a couple field goals already and he's costing you out there? Of course he knows it. Why make him feel worse just so that you can feel better and be the big man that you confront him on the sideline? And then it gets, it ends up escalating into what it did. Everyone's talking about it, and then you look like an idiot instead of being a leader that you need to be.
I have a problem with it. The only way I wouldn't have a problem with it is if Tabor Pepper or Jake Moody or all the specialists were over on the side screwing around, not practicing hard, and I haven't seen any indication that that's the case. Otherwise, quite frankly, you're not helping the situation. And this reminds me of people that go to city council meetings and stand up at the podium and have their friends video them blasting city council so they can put it on Insta. Look how cool you're doing it. You're trying to impress people with, hey, I just want it more, and I have a problem with what Deebo did. I don't think he should be doing that publicly. There's no point in doing it publicly. There's really no point in doing it. These guys know it was a bad day.
I kind of disagree. I have a problem with getting physical. He didn't have to get physical with the guy and swipe at him or whatever. But I have no problem with him yelling at the kicker and the snapper, saying lock in, because I know kickers are a different breed and they're kind of on the sidelines a lot of times when the other players are doing their thing. But I feel like every player should be held accountable. And I've always thought this. How come no one's allowed to yell at the kicker? Ever. I just think it's okay to yell at them, and because they yell at their own teammates, whether it's defensive back or receiver or quarterback or your offensive lineman, everyone can get yelled at with the kicker. So I don't like the part, like I said, where he got physical, but I don't mind him getting in his face and say, hey, man, you got to lock in.
More football questions.
All right, speaking of the Niners, are they a legit Super Bowl contender now they have Christian McCaffrey back?
Well, is Deebo going to stop yelling at people and blaming others? Run CMC came back, picked up where he left off. He averaged 21.2 touches per game last season, and he debuted with 19 last week. Didn't really run it well, but was effective out of the backfield. Yeah, it's foolish to count them out. There's an undercurrent of something being wrong there in San Francisco, not covering the team. I'm not really sure what it is, but I'm not counting them out.
Yeah, I wouldn't count them out either. I think this is a team that's just one of these classic, look, we know how good we are. When we need to win the games, we can win the games. We just have to get into the playoffs. Now, maybe they're not going to be hosting playoff games this year, and that'll be a shame for them, although they can still have a chance if they win the division. but they're a good football team. They were a good football team before, without Christian McCaffrey, and they're a better football team with him, obviously. But Jordan Mason did a fantastic job running the football. The Niners as a team are averaging 5 yards per carry. I know he brings more. It's more in the receiving game. He averaged 11 yards a catch on 6 receptions last week, so he does make a difference. But this team was good beforehand. They're going to be really good now that he's back.
Yeah, I'm going to hold off on calling him a legit Super Bowl contender right now. CMC's got to prove to me he is actually healthy, but they are very dangerous, clearly. They, even with losing Brandon Ayuk, they have a ton of weapons over there. But I go back to the injury factors. CMC just coming back. Debo and Kittle seem to always be dinged up. And surprisingly, Arizona could get in their way of they might have to win the division to make the playoffs to see how this thing plays out. Arizona's ahead of them right now, but they're all compact together in that division. So not legit contender for me yet, but they are very dangerous.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Football questions.
All right, Commanders versus Eagles, Ravens versus Steelers, Chiefs versus Bills. If you can only watch one game this week, which one would you choose?
For me, it's Commanders and Eagles. It's in conference. These are two exciting teams to watch. I like both quarterbacks. They're fun to watch what they can do. The defenses are aggressive and strong. Plus, when I look at the other games, tired of Chiefs, Bills, tired of the build-up with it. Steelers and Ravens would have been my second choice, but it's the AFC. Because it's the NFC, that's going to reign supreme.
Yeah, quick answer for me here. It is the NFC game because it impacts us in the chase for the #1 seed. Go Foot Commanders tonight against the Eagles.
Funny, because that's my least favorite of these. I mean, I understand the conference angle with it, but I'm just looking at it as an excitement from a fan point of view. I'm going to go with Chiefs Bills. I'm not sick of it. I think this is like Mahomes Allen could be like Manning Brady. Like these two guys hopefully are going to be entertaining us for years to come. And I know it's in the AFC, but this is, to me, the NFL is almost like one huge conference at this point because I watch so much crossover every week and all the channels are crossing over games and things like that. I love Lamar Jackson, super exciting, and Commanders Eagles. The surprise of watching Jaden Daniels do so good early is great, but I'm going to go with Chiefs Bills.
I have a fever, and the only cure is more football questions.
All right, the Thanksgiving halftime performers were just announced. We announced them earlier this week, and it's usually always a musical artist of some sort. But guys, if you could pick having a great singing voice, playing one instrument great, or being an unbelievable dancer, which skill would you choose? And by the way, you cannot become rich and famous from this skill. It's just something that you have for your own personal, ability here, your own personal choice.
Okay, so if money's not the motivation,
yep.
What is motivating
While
most
we're
guys?
at the light here,
Motivating you, Doug.
What's getting you closer to or further from? Which is often the motivation, guys. I'm not
Your
using that
stats?
as my determining
I was
factor.
just looking to see if there's any trades.
I'm going to go instrument, although I think that can be impressive. And I'm going to go acoustic guitar. I'm going to channel my inner Freddie Frito. Have you ever heard of Kent Nishimura? If you haven't, go to YouTube and type in Kent Nishimura, and he is to guitar what Batman is to superheroes. He's unstinking believable with a acoustic guitar. I
He's
want
one
to
of
be
the guys
that
who
guy.
starts banging on the guitar and playing it in all different ways.
He's a guy
It
that
sound like
plays.
it's 5 different guitars at once.
Yeah, he plays 25 or 6 to 4, and it sounds like there's 4 guitars. He plays.
Chicago song?
Yeah, Tears for Fears. Everybody wants to rule the world.
yeah, I know that
He's
guy.
incredible. So I want to be that guy.
I'll be that guy. Well,
He wants to be Japanese.
Listen, I'm comfortable with my singing voice. I'm comfortable with my ability to dance. It's not great, but
Chair dancing's good.
Yeah, and it's not like I go out dancing, right? So it's, for me, you know what it's going to be. It's going to be playing guitar. It's going to be playing electric guitar. Those guys get the chicks. And if I could play really, really well, that'd be really, really awesome.
So my thought was, I really broke this down. How many different situations, scenarios could you actually use this skill set that you choose, right? For singing, do I have to be a karaoke bar? Do I just break out and song out of nowhere, Or for an instrument, do I just carry my guitar around with me at all times in case someone wants to see my awesome skills? How many times do I go to a dance club? Maybe in my younger days I would go to the bar and dance club a lot where dancing would make, a big difference for me, right? But with all that being said, the age I am right now, I'm going to go with singing, and here's why. I don't care how many vocal lessons you get. if you can't sing, you cannot sing. I can attempt to learn how to play an instrument. I can attempt to learn how to dance better. But I think I'm going to go with singing because I think that's the hardest one to be really good at.
And there it is. That concludes the Y9 Omaha 4 down around the league blitz thing. It's Carson Anderson, 97.1 The Ticket.
97.1 The Ticket. This Odyssey.com Sports Minute is brought to you by Summit Place Kia.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. First place in the NFC East is on the line tonight as Washington visits Philadelphia. This does shape up as another huge test for presumptive Rookie of the Year, Jaden Daniels. The Eagles are rolling on offense and defense, and the Commanders should provide their biggest challenge in more than a month. I still like Philly by a fourth quarter field goal. Let's call it 27-24 Eagles. I'm Boomer Esiason.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this. If something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
Time to work on your gift list with Black Friday deals at the Home Depot. Right now, get a select tool from top brands like Ryobi and Milwaukee for free when you buy a select battery kit. Choose from reciprocating saws, multi-tools, sanders, and more. Whether you're stocking up on power for your personal workshop or grabbing the perfect gift for someone else's. Get Black Friday tool deals delivered from the Home Depot. Limit 1 per transaction. Exclusions apply. Full eligible tool list in-store and online.
Tour with very special guests, 3 Doors Down, and Mammoth WVH. November 20th, Little Caesars Arena. Tickets on sale now at LiveNation.com, 313presents.com, or Ticketmaster. 3 with 3 Doors Down and Mammoth WVH on the Are You Ready Tour.
If you want a tire shop that doesn't feel like your ordinary tire shop, then you need to meet Tire Man. Bell Tire. Good point, Tire Man. Tire Man works at Bell Tire. He's part tire, part man, all heart. Bell Tire. Right, Tire Man. We repair flats for free at Bell Tire. And as Tire Man just said, we actually care about our customers. We're not your ordinary tire shop because we're changing tires. Bell Tire.
Make Hollywood Casino Greektown your game day headquarters this football season. Watch all the best games on their giant screen TVs in their brand new ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Now open. Penn Play football fans, sign up for the free Cover 5 app today and make your picks for a chance to win up to $500 Penn Cash every week. Visit PennPlaySports.com/Cover5 to start playing. Score big this football season at Hollywood Casino Greektown and Penn Play. Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-270-7117.
The Detroit Red Wings play the Anaheim Ducks. Pre-game tomorrow at 9:45 on 97.1 The Ticket.
What is your talent level for guitar? Like, I know you have guitars. Everybody knows you collect guitars. Well, I shouldn't say everybody. People don't know. Gator collects guitars. And you play them.
I do.
And do you...
Well, like, what's the scale? Like, so we can make it relative.
Okay, so your good friend Garrett, who's played with... Name the most famous people that Garrett has played with.
Alice Cooper.
Okay. He's played
Also a Taylor Swift cover band. Don't forget that.
That is true.
All right, I just want to throw that out there. Garrett had played with a Taylor Swift cover band.
He did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He loved it.
It turned into his passion.
Yes.
Anyway, so Garrett's the best guitar player you know.
Yes.
So if he's a 10, and me picking up a guitar and not knowing what I'm doing, I'm a 1.
3.
Okay. Just a 3.
I have limitations. Yeah, for sure. I can't talk and play at the same time. I have coordination issues with the left and right hand. But Might be 4. But see, you have to understand, the gap between 4 and 10 is so massive.
Yeah.
Just knowing what he is. And I want to say that the gap between you just picking one up for the first time and me, like a 3 would be massive.
That'd be pretty big, yeah. He said something during the break, but I'm like, oh, I wish he'd said it on the air.
But I can't swear in the air.
Well, you can say the same thing without swearing. And we were talking about Kent Nishimura, who picks up a acoustic guitar and plays famous songs and sounds like about 6 guitars playing at once, all as one guy. It's incredible. And Gator actually finds these people to be borderline offensive.
They're so good. They're so talented. And like I said to Doug, I go, it's like watching these, some 8-year-old play Stairway to Heaven, and I said, go F yourself. Not that it's the most difficult song to play, but you know what I'm saying. You can play something everybody knows, and you play it well. Like, oh, shut up. When you're 8? Awesome. Great. And then, next thing I know, I'm putting all my guitars up on eBay.
Right. I do think something that Kang brought up about the usefulness of the skill, like breaking out in song. I don't...
Yeah, that's not really going to happen.
No, it's got to be...
You got to be like a karaoke bar.
You got to be a karaoke guy. That's one. Breaking out your guitar and playing it is almost like...
You got to be at a campfire.
Yeah.
Campfire, yeah. Or you got to know people. Like if your friends are in a band, you say, hey, mind if I sit in with you for a song? And then you can display your...
The dancing thing
talent.
is most awesome at weddings, when everybody is dancing. But if everybody isn't dancing and you want to dance, it's just weird. You don't just dance. So, yeah, I mean, the parents' weekend, I end up at frat parties and stuff like that.
Could be the spot.
Those
days are old.
Slow motion.
There's dancing or embarrassment.
Scotch.
I would. There's some of the kids know what they're doing.
Right, I'm specifically talking about you.
Well, I'm not out there.
I was playing a joke.
In weddings, it's great. In weddings, when everybody's expecting to dance and you can sort of reluctantly go up there and then just kill it. You look, oh, this guy's
just to have the confidence of doing it without,
thinking that we were on the field.
Ridiculous. Right. Like, everyone's going to make fun of me. I don't know. I have no coordination, rhythm, off beat, But if you're a good dancer, you're like, weddings, like you said.
We had to go home last year.
We're all, past our clubbing days, but back then you just probably hit the floor. Whatever. Like, if a girl came up to you, you wouldn't be, nervous about, all right, I can't go out on the dance floor. I mean, this is going to be bad.
Right, yeah.
I can move to the music.
My days of going to Boogie Fever are kind of done.
Yeah, right.
I don't think it was that long ago that was that Boogie Fever.
Yeah, you're damn right it was long though. Because he's single Gator.
There's sometimes the folk they want to go dance.
It's.
You gotta go.
I learned early, sort of this one dance step, very basic. That just gets by.
Oh, please do it.
No.
Yes. You want me? What music you want? I'll look this on my radar. What do you want?
Some smoothie? What do you need?
Oh yeah.
It's just step back, step back, and it was very simple. I'm not dancing.
Come on, YouTube. Get to YouTube and Twitch right now.
No, I'm not gonna dance. But it's just to get by. In the emergency break glass situation, when you're at a wedding, you get dragged onto the dance floor. How do you survive this without looking like that guy? And I've got one go-to.
Please. Come on.
I don't know how you can talk about it without doing it.
I promise I will do it at Gator's wedding.
Great.
Promise.
Never see it.
Next wedding, we're all at together. And then I'll let you guys, you can record it and tweet it out.
Maybe we'll be fortunate enough to go to Lori's wedding.
Yeah.
We can see Doug.
Did you break this out at Evan's wedding?
Probably. Evan's wedding got a little bit out of hand.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, there was 3 in the morning. What am I still doing up?
Oh, you did?
I'm still waiting for my car.
That was a really good wedding. Yeah, next time we're at a wedding,
what was the concert that was there that same night? Was Garth Brooks or something?
Yeah, Garth Brooks across the street.
I thought we're getting out of there on time. Okay, we got this. Little car's coming, great, and we're not moving.
No.
It took us an hour 1 full hour.
You know what you could have done?
From the DAC to get to Woodward and Montcalm.
So wait, you were trying to leave right when the concert let out?
Well, it wasn't our plan. It just we thought we were leaving a good time, and next thing we know, we see all these, bumpkins coming out, belt buckles, country bumpkins, belt buckles and hats, and oh, this is not a good time, is it? No, it's not. We chose poorly.
Mm-hmm.
Should have stayed at the reception for another hour.
Yeah, you should have.
Yeah, you should have.
Could seen Doug dancing.
Or you should have stayed at the DAC that night.
Yeah, well, these are things that,
in retrospect.
Yeah. Wish, shoulda, coulda.
Yeah. Here's the other thing too. I do have to have a few drinks.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So I'm not. That's another reason why I'm not doing it now. Now, if you want to bring some drinks in, and over the next hour and a half, give me a little liquored up, I might be able to.
What do you want? I might not have something in the car.
You got something in the cubicle, probably.
I always wondered what our last show would sound like.
Sounds like you dancing.
Yeah, I got two choices.
Like me getting liquored up.
Wine or tequila?
What kind of wine?
It's red.
Which type of red?
I think it might be Bordeaux.
Okay.
Not sure.
Do you have a Merlot?
I don't know what it is.
Shiraz? You got a Shiraz?
It's not a Shiraz. I don't have a Shiraz.
Yeah, wine doesn't really make me want to dance. Wine makes me want to go
All right,
sleep.
so tequila it is.
It must be tequila.
Because it's pretty tequila. Jimmy's got tequila.
I do have a follow-up on a story from yesterday. A listener named Pat sent us a link to a story. And I'll just read this. We're not going to revisit the entire topic, but just so everybody knows. The headline, man jailed for more than 3 years for loading illegal streaming services onto Amazon Fire Sticks. Jonathan Edge, 29, ran a service uploading illegal services to Fire Stick devices in return for cash-in-hand payments, using Facebook advertising and word-of-mouth recommendations to run his operation.
Oh, was that illegal?
Now, this was in Liverpool, England. But you got 3 years and 4 months in prison. Just so everybody knows.
How long is that in metric?
It is also 3 years and 4 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Passing along, story that is linked. Pat sending us, we're doing community service here.
Yeah.
Goes out there, but
be ironic if they were streaming the movie yesterday.
That's worse going to jail.
Yeah.
That guy could sing and play.
Yes,
yeah.
yeah,
he could. Billy James.
How about that?
It's a good movie, isn't it?
It is a good movie.
It's a really good movie. If you haven't seen it, yesterday.
All right,
It's a good movie.
I enjoyed it, sincerely. All right, straight ahead, let's talk some Detroit Lions as they get set for this game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll get to that today at 11:02. Later in the hour, talk a little hunting. Tomorrow being the opening of firearm season. It's Carson Anderson, 97.1 The Ticket.
With that Nissan truck turning left.
Get ready to tackle the NFL action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Because right now, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Build yourself one of those quick same-game parlays for the Thursday night game. You got the Bengals and the Ravens. You gotta put some Derrick Henry rushing yards in there, don't you? Maybe some Joe Burrow passing yards? Go ahead, build it. Just visit FanDuel.com/Wojo to make every moment more this season. FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Must be 21 or older and present in Michigan. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Again, St. Bede's story. Jim was at the laundromat when he heard his ear said, "Maraca, senor," but his nose said, "Hey, freshest scent ever." Following his nose, Jim found a man pouring a bottle of Gain St. Bede's into the washer. The scent, the freshness. Jim blurted, "Sir, your scent Maraca smell amazing." Actually, Jim, most noses call them Gain St. Bede's.
Try Gain Scent Beads. Way fresher than detergent alone.
I'm Jenna Fisher.
And I'm Angela Kinsey.
And together we have the podcast Office Ladies.
Just because we finished rewatching The Office does not mean we're going anywhere.
Every Wednesday, we'll be sharing even more exclusive stories from The Office and our friendship with brand new guests. Plus, you can revisit all the Office Ladies rewatch episodes every Monday with new bonus tidbits before every episode.
So follow and listen to Office Ladies on the free Odyssey app and wherever you get your podcasts.
I was going to tell you about Wendy's $5 biggie bag. But the legal so long, I don't have time. So, includes choice of junior bacon cheeseburger or crispy chicken sandwich with 4-piece nugs, junior fry, and small soft drink. U.S. price participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, and California and via third-party delivery. Open till midnight or later. Hours may vary by location.
The latest news and information on the Big Ten on the 5 Star Zone podcast with Rico Baird and the Big Ten Network's Howard Griffith. Get it on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts. WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. An Odyssey Sports Station. Sports headlines. All day, every day. From the Corwell Health Sports Desk. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Brought to you by North Bloomfield Properties. The Pistons unveiled their newest Bad Boy-inspired City Edition uniforms. They're bone-colored with orange accents and the Chuck Daly signature on a special emblem. They'll wear them 13 times this year on a Bad Boys-designed court, beginning with next Monday against the Bulls downtown. The Lions also hoping to get Sam Laporta back to practice soon. He was the only Detroit active player still missing yesterday as he works on his shoulder issue. Thursday Night Football set to kick off Week 11 in the NFL, a battle of two 7-win teams. The surprising Commanders will visit Philadelphia in a big NFC East showdown. There's also some college pigskin on tonight as East Carolina and Tulsa will play in Oklahoma. At the Corwell Health Sports Desk, I'm Chris Villar. For more, go to 97.1 The Ticket and Odyssey.com.
Live from the Jamie Samuelson Studio, Karsh and Anderson on 97.1 The Ticket.
I should have asked you to show me the moves during the break. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not drunk.
Well, yeah, until I'm drunk. In front of other people.
Until I'm drunk.
In front of one person.
Until I'm drunk. All right, so Lions taking on Jacksonville this weekend. Couple things. One, Adam Schefter this week on his podcast was talking about where the Lions rank in the NFL. And he thinks right now that the Detroit Lions are the best team in the NFL. And it's really interesting. I wonder how people feel about that. I mentioned yesterday, I think Sports Illustrated ranked the Lions number 1 in their power rankings, and NFL.com had the Lions number 1 in their power ranking. Because on paper, we have like one of the strongest cases ever for a team that should be ranked number 1 in the NFL. The Kansas City Chiefs are back-to-back Super Bowl winners and are undefeated, right? On paper, that would be an exceptionally strong case to be built as them being the best team in the NFL, wouldn't you think?
Yes, well, on paper, but when you do things on paper, you also have to look at schedule. That's part of paper, right?
Yep.
So, the first win of the season for Kansas City was a great win. They beat the Ravens, 27-20. Hello, world, we're back. We just beat the Ravens. But after that, they beat the Bengals by a point. They beat the Falcons by 5 points. They beat the Chargers by a touchdown. They beat the Saints by 13. Terrible. They won at San Francisco by 10 points. They beat the Raiders by 7. They beat the Bucks by 6. They just beat the Broncos by 2 because the Broncos couldn't make a field goal at the end. Yeah, it's not an impressive list of wins after the first one. And if you got the win over the Ravens in week 1, that's the best time to get it. It's like the Lions taking out Kansas City last year to start the season. I'm not saying Kansas City's bad. Kansas City's really good. But I think that 8-0 record is a little bit inflated by who they played.
Yeah.
They haven't really been battle-tested Not that the Lions have been really battle-tested, but they've been battle-tested, I think, more so than Kansas City.
The Lions, this recent schedule, these 4 games they played, they've been pretty battle-tested. The last 2 back-to-back Super Bowls, okay? The Denver Broncos won in 1998 and 1999. So just like Kansas City, won 2 in a row. And the next season, after 9 games, they were 5-4. Then after that, you get the 2004 and 2005 New England Patriots. Well, they won those Super Bowls. 2005, 2006, I guess it was. And they come back and they were, 6-3. So this is, like, on paper, one of the stronger. And you're right. It's who they played. And if you watch the games and how they went, you can see, all right, these are, that team might not be as good as what they would suggest on paper. But you think about how good the Lions must appear, and it's always interesting to me to get outsider perspectives. I rely on them all the time because I think we can get too close to it. We can get caught up in it. And in spite of that on-paper resume, back-to-back Super Bowls, undefeated, Adam Schefter thinks we got the best team in the NFL, Sports Illustrated's power rankings, and the NFL.com's power ranking. What does it mean? It really doesn't mean anything. Other than credibility. We got a ton of it right now.
Oh, there's a lot of cred. There's a lot of cred there. And, you look at, okay, if you want to compare the 2 teams, the Lions are scoring a ton of points. The Chiefs are not. The Chiefs have a pretty good defense. Defensively, they're not giving up much. But neither are the Lions. The Lions did a really good job defensively as well, but I think the Chiefs done a better job of that. Look at the quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback playing today, right? Mm-hmm. But he's not having a great season. He's completing a ridiculous amount of passes. It's almost 70% of his passes he's completed, but he's got, I think, 12 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Has he been outplayed by Goff? I think he has. But it's also, part of what the offense is. The Lions run the ball very effectively. The Chiefs do not. The Lions are really pretty close to being a complete team. If they had Aiden Hutchinson, this is a mostly complete team. They still have a little bit of a hole with the pass rush even with Hutchinson. But obviously they're better with Aiden than without Aiden. We'll see on Sunday what it looks like with Zadarius Smith on the line and a healthy Josh Paschal and other guys, getting more and more opportunities to contribute. And Aleem McNeil coming into his own right now as well. He's improved this year. He's taken a step